Hello, Candy Cane Cooper here, International Animal Communicator. This is my first vlog, and I'm seeing we've got some other thing going on here. I think we're doing fine. Okay, if you have any problems, let me know. Today we're going to talk about animal communication. Please chime in with your questions right now, whatever you have. I'm watching on my computer too, as well. But I'm going to start with, I already got a bunch of emails, so I'm going to start with one of the first questions I got was from Jolanta. She's one of my big fans. Thank you, Jolanta. She is on all my social media, and she's in the UK. And she asked me, what is the difference when I'm hearing the animals' voices? As opposed to, she's trying to learn animal communication herself, and she feels that she is hearing her own voice instead. And that's a question that I get asked a lot. So, hi Rebecca. Anyway, for me, because I was born this way, it's very easy, there's not a problem for me to understand the difference. When I hear the animals speaking, it's just as if I'm talking to you right now. Their voice is loud and clear. It comes in a lot of different tones. It's nothing strange like you would see on TV, like Scooby-Doo talking. I always use that for an example, like, ruh-roh, what's going on, Candy? The animals don't talk like that. They sound just like us. Their own personalities come through, and each one is very separate and individual. So, Jolanta, what I want to tell you is that if you think that you are hearing your own voice, then you are. There's a clear-cut difference. When you're hearing the animals, there's nothing to think about. It's just plain as day. Okay, so let me see what we've got here. Huh? Oh, hey, Vicky, how are you? Vicky and I grew up together. Nice to see you here, Vicky. Next question I have is from Arlette in Israel. And she wanted to know when I first discovered that I was able to do this. Well, I was born this way, but I realized it when I was very young, about, I'm gonna say 3 years old, with my first animal, Seymour. He's a little Chihuahua, and he would always sleep with me at night, and I would talk to him and share all my thoughts and what happened during the day and what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I would share these with my parents, these conversations, but of course they told me, Candy, you're having dreams, you know, it's nice, you have a vivid imagination. And even though I grew up in I was born in the late 50s, I grew up in the 60s with, hi Kim, one of my other clients, Nevi, hi Nevi. Even for their minds, it was a little too progressive. So I pretty much kept it to myself and didn't really talk about it. Once I got a little bit older, I noticed that I was very different. Growing up in Hollywood, there wasn't a lot of wildlife around me. Hi, Maura. Oh, all my clients. Hi, Angela. Nice to have everybody here with me today. So I would spend a lot of time at the La Brea tar pits, which some of you natives here know. And I'd bring home turtles and frogs and squirrels. Although one time I brought home a snake, and that was just a little bit too much for my mom. So we had to let him go. I named him Izzy. We had to let Izzy go in the backyard. But of course, everyone was afraid to go in the backyard for a while. He was just a little garden snake, but he was very sweet. Let's see, I have another question here from Shelly in Germany. Oh, hey, there's my sister Bon Bon. Hi, Bonnie. She wants to know, let's see, what is Shelly's question? Oh, what is the hardest part of what I do, my career? Well, a lot of you know that I do a lot of home euthanasia. I work with Dr. Nicholas Fox here in Los Angeles, and we go to the house and he performs euthanasia, and I'm there as like a spiritual guide and to help the animals cross over you would think that that would be one of the hardest things that I do. People always ask me that. How do you get over that? You know, and I actually cross over to the other side when I escort them over, and then I come back, and I have another assist today. Actually, my older dog Wookie, his brother, is going to be humanely euthanized, Ruzel, and I have the honor of helping him cross over today. So this might sound crazy to you, but I'm looking forward to it because it's very, very special, and that can be one of the most intimate moments that you can spend with your animal. I know a lot of you might be afraid you can't be there in that moment, but please, please, let me tell you, it can be one of the most intimate, again, moments that you possibly can share with your beloved animal. But that is not the hardest part of my job. The hardest part of my job is dealing with the human caretakers. You know, consoling them, dealing with them, whether it be the animal is ill, behavioral issues. I'm working with a tremendous amount of lost animals the last year. I just have a whole flood of runaways, and I'm not quite sure why that is. The intensity and the, you know, in the moment where, you know, I'm connecting with the animals have run away, they're in survival mode, and the human is panicking, the animal is panicking. It can be extremely difficult for me. So I'm going to say that the hardest part is dealing with the humans, not the animals. Okay, let's see. My next question here is from Joni in Los Angeles, and she says, what is my most favorite part of my career? Oh, hi, Joanne. I'm so glad everyone's tuned in. I don't know why I'm not seeing questions posted, but if you have some, type them. They're not coming up. I'm just getting it in the emails. Anyway, my most favorite part of what I do is being able to give the tools to the human caretakers to connect. I always say I mesh the bond between human and animal. That's like my tagline. Because a lot of you feel that you already know what your animal's thinking, and you just use me to validate what you already know, and I love that. So many of you already have this amazing, beautiful connection, and you know, it feels a little weird to think that you really do know what your animal is thinking, but take it from me, it's not weird at all. This is what I do. I live it every day. So I'm going to say that is the most favorite part of what I do, is being able to share my gift. I live it. It's not a job. It's not a career. It's basically who I am, and I'm so very lucky to be able to make a career out of it, thanks to all of my wonderful clients out there who supported me over the last several decades. Some of you have been with me from the very beginning, and I appreciate that, you know, just trusting me with your beautiful animals. And in this very hard time right now, where we have this pandemic, I do want to say, of course, if you're watching, I know you're a true animal lover and you have several animals of your own, I'm sure. Lean on them. They're there for you. They're there to support you. And you get to spend all this extra time with them now that we're all, you know, social distancing. We're all inside our homes right now. So take this extra time to get to know them a little bit better, and build your bond that just that much stronger. Like I said, lean on them. They're there for you. They're very, very, very tough. That's, you know that. Some of you have the most stoic animals on the planet. I just dealt with an older dog last night, 15 years old, tough as nails. Another client of mine, 14-year-old little female. She is the toughest little dog I've ever met. Her name is Pink, and wow, she just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back. So look to them for strength. Okay, let's see. Now we have some questions. Let's see, what do we got here? Do I think the animals are feeling our trauma? Yes, exactly. That's what I was just saying. Lean on them. They're strong, and don't worry about putting your negativity on them, because they do not fear crossing over. To them, it's just a continuation of their lifestyle or their energy. For us, we look at it as the end, but it is not, believe it or not. It's just another step into another reality. Let's see. What is this other question? Oh, Joanna, you missed asking a question. Let's see. Learning and feelings about the animals and emotions. Oh, thank you, Joanna. She's a beautiful client that I worked with, and she tried desperately to save her horse. I thought she was going to pull through, but unfortunately, we lost her. But now we can talk to her on the other side. So let's see, Nevi, we are locked on. Oh, okay. Hello, Jody. How are you? Let's see. Another question I have here is, what are you asking me, darling? Oh, let's see. What did it feel like when I first, came out, or when I first started telling people that I could hear the animals? I got the courage about 20 years ago when I decided that I just had to do this. It was so prevalent in my life and everything that I did that I had to change my whole life around and drop my other profession. Oh, my chihuahuas, hold on a second. And start doing it professionally. And yes, it was very, very scary. Very, very scary. I thought people were gonna think that I was crazy. I remember asking my therapist if I might be schizophrenic because of the voices that I do hear. And he assured me that I was not. So hi Ferdy, hi Alex, hi Kyle. But it was very hard. And then to try to make a profession out of it and a living out of it took time as I built and built and built. And today I was even thinking about the very first time that I spoke about it in public. I don't know why I was so brave. About 20 years ago, I was at, I don't know if any of you remember the Conscious Life Expos that we used to attend. They were amazing. They used to be the harvest festivals here in California. And now I decide to go stand up before, 500 people and talk about what I do and give a lecture. I'll tell you, that took the training wheels right off, just blew them right off, and I really enjoyed it. And I have to say that I still have some clients from way back when, from that very first day. They liked what I was saying, they felt comfortable with me, and I still today work with them and their pets. So I just threw myself into it. What can I say? Let's see, Angela wants to know, do I feel that the animals stay with their parents after they cross over to the other side? I think she's asking me if they stay with their parents on the other side. Not necessarily. It's very different. When I see them on the other side, they can be with their family that is already over there, but they can also be with new animals, new humans. They can also be with animals and humans that they never met before. Let's see, Joanne. Hi, Joanne. She wants to know, do our pets remote view what we're doing when we are at work or away from them? Absolutely. Absolutely. They do. And I'm sure some of you, as my clients know, they tell me what's going on. So they tattle. So be careful, because they're always watching, and they're always, I say reading your mind, but through telepathy, which is the same way that I communicate with them, that's the same way they communicate with you, even though you're not aware of it. So they're always listening to your thoughts. Let's see, what else? We have another question here. What does it feel like on the other side? Well, it's actually very beautiful. Oh wait, second part to Angela's question. Sorry. I mean, do the animals stay with us in spirit after they leave? Oh, in this dimension? No. They are in another plane or another reality, but they do come across and visit all the time. Sometimes you might catch them for a split second out of the corner of your eye, or you might feel them press up against you, or especially when you're sleeping. But do the actual spirits stay trapped in our dimension? No, it actually does move on to the afterlife. That's for sure. And it's a very beautiful place. I was going to say, I visit there almost every day because I have so many animals on the other side. A lot of my clients have me visit them with them weekly, just to catch up and see what they're doing. Let's see. Kim says, I have so many animals and I deal with one that seems to get jealous. How would you deal with that? Yes, they do get jealous. And I want to take this time to say, I hear it all the time with our human animals, with our human children and our animals. I love them all the same. I don't have a favorite. Okay, we know that's not true. And so do the animals. So don't lie about that to them, because they always say to me, oh, I'm the favorite. They know, and that's okay. And you can work around it. What you can do, Kim, is spend more time with the one that is a little jealous and explain to them that you do love them, but don't give them, oh, I love everybody the same, blah, 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 but maybe share the highlights of what you like about them and the highlights of the other animals, and compare, and it might motivate your less favorite animal to be more like your favorite animal. Positive reinforcement, but again, don't lie and just say, I love you all the same, because they know that's not true. And I always get a big giggle when I'm in session and the animal says, well, I know I've got that, my human wrapped around my finger, because they know it's okay. There's no way to get around it. It's a reality. I had a session last night with another animal. The husband human was wishing for a large dog, and there's small dogs in the house. And the little boy, he knew it, and he said out loud, tell Daddy that when I'm gone, he was an older dog, that when I'm gone, you can have your big dog. And he was very shocked, but the animals are very honest. There's no ego involved. Okay, Betsy says, does my old dog with many ailments try harder to rally because he knows I'm trying hard to keep her comfortable? I'm sure she does. Hold on, I gotta let my chihuahua in. She's crying at the door. Come on, Casey. Of course, they know all your efforts, and they're all very, very grateful when they know you're trying so hard to keep them healthy and happy. They're very appreciative. But again, it's not, I don't want to make it a statement that covers all, because each have their own personalities. So some animals are a little more grateful and more giving, and then sometimes they're not, just like all of us. Okay, I have another question. Sometimes I talk to my animals that have crossed over. Do they feel me when I think of them and talk to them? Yes, they hear everything you're saying and everything you're thinking. That is for sure 100%, because they're always tuned in. So there's no getting away from that. So be careful what you think, because they know. And again, they're always listening. Hi, Charlie. How are you? Nice to see you here with me today. So if you think you're hiding anything from your pets, like my other example with my client last night, You're not. But he was very gracious, this little dog, in saying, Daddy, you can have your big, male man dog when I'm gone. So he was trying to be gracious, but I'm going to be honest, I think maybe the human felt a little offended that the dog was saying that to him. Let's see, my dog has nightmares. I think I can help. You want some help with your dog's nightmares? Yes, they do have nightmares. We've all seen our dogs sleeping, or our animals are running or barking in their sleep. They have vivid imaginations just like you and I, and wake them up, but carefully, very carefully, especially if you have a big dog. You do not want to surprise them while they're having a nightmare or making them think you're the cat they're chasing in the middle of the night, That's for sure. Yes. I'm glad you're good, Charlie. Yes, all is well here. Just staying home and taking care of ourselves. Everybody, I hope, is doing the same. It's an important time that we all band together, one love, for sure. So again, that isn't the first time that happens to me. Yeah, you thought that. Okay, great. Yes, that's for sure. Yes, they're very generous, and especially when it's that time, they're very honest about their physical conditions and what's going on with them. Like I said, they have no ego. And if that's anything that we can learn from the animals, is that it's to lose your ego. And I'm sure some of you who are more on the spiritual side already are aware of that. But hey, Erica, my old neighbor, nice to see you, honey. I'm glad you and Eric are doing well. Hi, honey. I'm gonna say maybe that's my most favorite part of my job, is talking with the animals because of that. No ego. It's always honest and from the heart, very selfless. Again, brings up another thing that I wanted to share, where I'm sure you've all heard the animals have unconditional love. That's not true. They have a lot of feelings about everything, just like you and I. And when something wrong happens or they're abused, they remember it. Hi, Irene. And they don't forget it. Now, I'm not saying they can't forgive you, but you have to earn it just like you would with any other human. I'm going to pick up my little chihuahua here. Come here, Casey. Because she is dancing around my office. And this is Casey, otherwise known as Quesadilla. Say hello, Casey. Anyway, so don't feel that your loyal animal is always going to be there and love you. You do have to earn it. If you make a mistake, which many of you have done, we all have, you can redeem yourself. You certainly can redeem yourself and make it okay. But is it unconditional and they just wipe the slate clean because they're an animal and they don't care? Absolutely not. And any of you that do have rescue animals know what the animals bring once you bring them into your home with the PTSD. Of course, I've worked so much with animals and trauma, with behavioral issues, trying to get over it. It's very difficult. Even my little girl, Casey, right here, I got her by accident one day. I was rescuing a horse at the shelter, and she was in the cute little, you know how they put the cute little animals in front? She's very tiny now, but she was only 11 months old, so she was about this big. She looked like a little rat. And of course, my friends at the shelter know what I do. So they say, Candy, can you do me a favor? Can you pick this dog up and put her back in the medical ward? Because we cannot touch her. She's so angry and fearful. So of course, I walked over, I talked to her, picked her up, and I noticed she had a giant scar all the way down her abdomen. I was like, what could have happened to this little tiny baby? And they told me that she was dropped off with a stillborn inside of her at 9 months. Can you believe that? And that no, she wouldn't allow anybody to touch her. They had saved her life. So of course I adopted her, and here's the rest of the story. Now she's been with us for 8 years. Let's see, here's from Alex. My dog is a rescue and she only has 3 legs. They amputated one, and I always wondered if she had a tragic life. Oh yes. Well, we can have a session, we can find out probably if she was a rescue, because if somebody went through all of that, Alex, to put her through surgery and remove her leg, I'm going to say they probably wouldn't have let her wind up in a rescue. And the animals have all this PTSD. Even Casey now still only lets a very few people come around her. She was a breeder dog before she was even 11 months old, already impregnated. Can you imagine that? And she has a broken tail, I'm sure. Well, actually, she told me because they used to only be able to pick her up by her tail because she would be so ferocious and try to bite everybody. So there's another example of PTSD. So if you come to my house, watch out for Casey. She's the enforcer, okay? What can I say? Hi, Reginald. Nice to see you. Shelly, hi. Anyway, so circling back to the conditional love statement, just remember to earn your animal's love and support in the same way you would with your human child. And don't just take it for granted that they're always going to be there and be your trustworthy little companions. That I've wanted to share for a very long time. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Laura. Okay, hold on. Dogs in, dogs out. They're driving me crazy. Okay, go on out, my other chihuahua. Let's see what other questions I have here from email. We'll do one more question, and then I'm going to have to get off today. I loved doing this. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be doing many, many more if you request. It's a lot of fun, and I love answering your live questions. It's really nice to share it with you here. Since we're all going to be homebound for quite a long time, maybe I can do this once a week. I think that would be fun. Hi, Laura. Hi, Laura. So my last question here, unless somebody else has one up there, I'm going to look at my emails. You're welcome, Alex. My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay, so this is from Terry in North Carolina. She wants to know, she is having trouble finding out what's wrong with her dog. She feels like her dog has a lot of pain, but she's just not sure what it is. Well, obviously I'm not a vet, so I am going to say if it's a serious medical issue right away, don't wait. But I'd be glad to have a session with you, Terry. I personally do remote viewing when I am reading an animal, so I can check their body for any physical issues. I can give you the symptoms, and then you can in turn, take them to your vet and have them interpret what your animal's needs might be, okay? All right, so in closing, again, thank you all from my heart. This was so much fun. I loved it. And stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And and my book is coming out this June, so you can look for that. It'll be on Amazon. Of course, I'll post all over the place once it's finally published, but it's completed now. We're just doing editing, so I'm very excited about that. All right, so until then, have a beautiful day. Stay inside. Kiss all your animals for me, and I'll talk to you later. Peace. Bye-bye.